Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending today's webcast. This is the fifth in a five-part series of webcasts that we've done on Office 365. It's also the last one for the year, too, so it's kind of exciting. We're wrapping up the year with Lync Online. So, as Jasmina mentioned, my name is Jaime Velez. I'm the president and founder of WEBFORCE1. WEBFORCE1 is an IT consulting company. We focus exclusively on providing cloud solutions for small and mid-sized businesses. Today's presentation is on Office 365, but particularly we're focusing on Lync Online. And if you've attended one of my webcasts in the past, we've covered SharePoint, Exchange, Office web apps, and today we're covering Lync Online. As Jasmina mentioned, this webcast is being recorded, so it will be available usually within 48 hours after the webcast is available as a video. On the same link where you register, you'll be able to access the video. And the reason we chose Lync Online, it's basically the next generation of unified communication. So today's webcast is really going to be focused around all the new capabilities and what Lync Online really is. It's a brand new product that's part of the Office 365 solution, and it's something that's really going to revolutionize the way we communicate online. So that's enough for the intro. I wanted to do a quick legal disclaimer. So just wanted to mention quickly that Office 365 and Lync Online are trademarks of the Microsoft Corporation, and anything that I mention in today's webcast are my opinions and my views, are not necessarily the views of O'Reilly or Microsoft. WebForce1, we are, however, a Microsoft partner, so we do represent, we are an authorized reseller for Office 365. Okay, so what I want to do next is I'd like to go over the agenda for today. So we're going to discuss a few things. The first thing we're going to talk about is the cloud momentum. That's all that businesses are hearing nowadays, is everything about the cloud. So I'm going to give you just a quick overview of why the cloud is so popular right now and some of the major benefits that your business will receive from using cloud computing. Then I'm going to give you a quick overview of Office 365, and this is mainly for those on the call that have not seen Office 365 yet. I'm only going to spend about 5 minutes just giving you a quick overview of each of the 4 components. But the majority of the call is really going to focus on Lync Online. So I'm going to explain what Lync Online is. I'm going to be discussing some of the capabilities. The majority is not possible to cover it all in 1 hour, but I'm going to try to at least cover the main capabilities of Lync. And then I'm going to give you a demo. During the demo, I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to show you how to deploy Lync. I'm going to show you some of the ways you can share Lync with other organizations. And I'm also going to show you the client and how it integrates with Outlook. After the demo, I'm going to talk about the different integration options. Integration with other Office 365 products such as SharePoint and Exchange Online. And then I'll discuss some of the deployment options for different size organizations. So there's some different scenarios depending on whether you're a small or large organization. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about the benefits of moving to the cloud. How do you get started? And then, as always, we'll leave it up. We'll give about 10 or 15 minutes towards the end of the call to do some Q&A. Okay, so why is everybody talking about the cloud? The cloud seems to be everywhere. Everywhere you turn, you hear about cloud computing. And the reality is that companies are starting to see a lot of benefits and savings by moving some of their resources, some of their servers, and some of their functions to the cloud. In particular, the biggest benefit is that you pay for what you use. Cloud computing it's becoming similar to utilities, where you only pay for the bandwidth, the amount of services and resources that you're utilizing. It's also a very popular option nowadays because businesses are able to shift some of their capital expenses to operational expenses. And also you can deploy solutions and services much quicker instead of having to wait for a typical deployment of, let's say SharePoint or Exchange, 6 to 12 months, depending on the size of the organization. You can have those capabilities deployed much faster with cloud computing. From a management perspective, from IT perspective, there's less maintenance. There's no patching because this is not done by the cloud provider. In this case, Microsoft would automatically update the services for Office 365. It's faster. There's a faster deployment period, and you get the enterprise class services. So instead of implementing as one server or a really small farm, you get the. I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for word here. But you get the redundancy is what I was trying to say. You get the redundancy of the servers being implemented at a data center at a Microsoft location instead of deploying your own hardware. So you get reliability and fault tolerance. You also get the latest version of the software. So one of the benefits is that instead of having to upgrade, let's say Exchange 2010 to the new version, it automatically gets updated for you because it's a service. You're not actually paying for the software itself. You're just paying for the service. And another major benefit is you have anywhere access to your cloud computing resources. Okay, so what is Office 365? For those of you that have not seen Office 365 yet, Office 365 is a brand new, it's a suite of services that Microsoft provides as a hosted solution, and it's basically four main components. It includes Office Professional Plus, and this depends on the type of service and the type of subscription that you select, and I'll cover those a little bit later during the call. You also get Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, and Lync Online. So Exchange is your basic email, calendar, and contacts scheduling application that integrates with Outlook. SharePoint Online, if you're not familiar with SharePoint, SharePoint is a web-based tool that allows you to create team sites, collaboration sites. It allows you to extend your information to external users. You can set up a team site that you can invite other members from other organizations to share content with. And then Lync Online, which is what we're going to be discussing today, is the unified communication tools for Office 365, and that incorporates instant messaging, and incorporates audio and video conferencing, as well as desktop sharing. So here's a real quick overview on Office 365. I'm just going to talk briefly about the first three components that I already mentioned. So with Office, depending on the plan that you select, if you have the E3 plan or the Enterprise 3 plan, you can actually get a subscription to the Office Professional Plus, the full suite of products, and you basically pay as you go. So it's a per user licensing, and you get access to the entire suite of Office products. With Exchange Online, you basically get a 25 gig mailbox. You have access that you can access through Outlook or also Outlook Web Access. It's got antivirus, anti-spam, and you can also access your emails and your calendars and contacts to your mobile devices. So Exchange Online supports BlackBerry, iPhone, Android, and Windows phones. Then you have SharePoint Online, which, as I mentioned already, is a web-based collaboration tool that you can use for document management. You can use to share documents with external users. It also has some other functionalities such as search and some business process. You can implement workflows based on your business processes, and it's much more than that. So, and if you'd like to learn more about SharePoint, one of my previous webcasts was a whole hour dedicated to SharePoint. You can view that webcast. If you like, you can also contact me directly. I can send you the link to that webcast. But today's discussion is going to focus all around Lync. And Lync, like I mentioned already, is an instant messaging and presence tool. So it's not just instant messaging, it's much more than that. So it allows you to do PC-to-PC audio and video calling. You can also share your desktop, your applications with other users. And during the demo, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. And you can also, depending on the presence location, presence basically means that you can go to any other application not linked. You can go to Exchange, SharePoint, and based on the availability of the user, you'll see the presence will be either green for available or red for busy. And you can actually click on the person's status indicator and start a real-time conversation with them. The major benefit of Office 365 is you get all these solutions in a single platform, and you can manage it through a single interface, through a single portal platform. During the demo, I'm going to log into the portal so you can see where you can manage all these different services. Okay, so I briefly talked about the Office 365 value. It basically delivers the power of cloud productivity, but it's for companies of all sizes. In the past, some of these servers products, such as Exchange and SharePoint, were only available to large enterprises. But today you can also, small businesses as little as a one-person company or 5 users can now access the power of SharePoint and Exchange because of the fact that it's hosted on the cloud. So with the Office 365, you get productivity and collaboration for business of all sizes. You can access it from anywhere. As long as you have an internet connection, you can access all your products through either a phone, a web browser, or a PC. And it's familiar to what you know because it integrates with Office Professional Plus. So the learning curve is not that it's very short. You really, if you know how to use Office, you can start working with Office 365 almost immediately. It's a reliable and secure system. One of the great things about the Office 365 service is that Microsoft guarantees it with its 99.9% SLA. And what that basically means is if the service is down for a specific period of time, Microsoft will reimburse you for the services. So they actually put in a guaranteed on the uptime of the service. And then lastly, from an IT perspective, you have better control and efficiency since you can manage all your products from one interface and you can manage it from any location. Okay, so what is Lync Online? So Lync Online is a new product that Microsoft released sometime last year. It started, before it was Lync Online, it was actually Lync Server 2010, and it was an on-premise solution that you can implement, and basically anybody in the organization can have instant messaging and presence indicators. But the product has now evolved to Lync Online, so you can access it as part of Office 365, and it basically allows you to do several things. You can do instant messaging, video calling. You can have Lync Meetings. If anybody on the call is familiar with Microsoft Live Meeting, this is the successor of Live Meeting. And there was another product too that Microsoft had in the past, Office Communicator Server. So Lync Online is basically the combination of Office Communication Server and Live Meeting. Now it's bundled into a single product called Lync. And what's coming soon, Microsoft recently announced a few days ago that Lync for mobile is coming out soon. So pretty soon you'll be able to access your Lync contacts through through most of your smartphones. Okay, so let's start talking about some of the capabilities of Lync. So in the screenshot that you see here on the left, you see the Lync client. So it's very similar to like a Live Messenger or Yahoo Messenger interface, but this is more of a business class product because it allows you to do a lot more than just instant message. I already mentioned the presence indicator. If you notice, if you look at the picture on the screenshot here, you notice that some icons some of their people's profile pictures are green, some are red. Some are red with a dash, that means do not disturb, and some are yellow. Yellow indicates that the person is away. So at a quick glance, you can pretty much determine immediately what the availability for each person is. With Lync, you can also do video-to-video calls from one Lync user to another Lync user. You can also click to Lync right from within Office. So if you're looking at an email message, you can click on the contact information, and the contact card appears, and then you can immediately initiate a Lync conversation from there. So another great feature about Lync is you can link it with external organizations, and this is through something called Federation. During the demo, I'm going to show you how to enable that feature. What that means is if I want to conversate with somebody else that's not part of my organization and they have Office 365, we can enable from organization to organization to communicate with each other. It's a really great feature. We personally use it at WebForce1 to communicate with our clients. In fact, we encourage all of our clients to use Lync, not just for instant messenger, but also to do audio and even video-to-video calls. And it's a great support tool as well, since we're able to share our desktops, or they can share their desktops with us as well. And as I mentioned before, Lync for smartphones is coming out soon. There was an announcement made recently, and we should be able to see that before the end of the year. There will be Lync Online will be available for most smartphones. Okay, so the other benefit of Lync is meetings. So you have the capability now to have online meetings, and you can have up to 250 attendees, and you can do an ad hoc. You can schedule a meeting, or you can do an ad hoc impromptu meeting. During the demo, I'm going to do a quick meeting with one of my colleagues, and you'll see how that works. You can do video and web conference, and now the beauty of this is it's all in a single platform. There are several solutions out there right now that do all this, but for instance, some of our customers mentioned that they were able to suspend some of their services with some other third-party conferencing solutions they've used in the past, because now they can do it all within Lync. So they can do phone conversations, they can do web conferencing, they can do Webcast, they can do it all from a single platform now. And you can also share your content. As I mentioned, you can share your desktop, or you could just share a particular application or program through Lync. Another option is you can easily schedule meetings through Outlook using Lync. Typically when you schedule a meeting, you assign the attendees and the location. There's a Lync plugin for Outlook, which I'm going to demo, that allows you to quickly insert a link for people to connect so they can have an online meeting. And also there's the ability to integrate with other third-party dialing solutions. In the picture below here, you see a conferencing screen. This is using something that Microsoft has. It's called a Roundtable, and the Roundtable allows you to have a conference. So this is basically a full room, but it gives you a panoramic view of the conference. And you can integrate with some other products similar to that as well. Okay, what you're seeing now is the Lync Administrative Console. As I mentioned earlier, one of the benefits of Office 365 is that you have a single interface to manage all your services. So in the past, you would have to go to a different screen to manage SharePoint, or a different screen to manage Exchange, a different screen to manage Lync. And now you can just go to a single portal, and from that portal you can navigate to the Lync Online control panel, and this is where you can enable certain features of Lync. During the demo, I'm going to show you how to enable the federation. I'm also going to show you the different user settings that you can apply, so you can only select certain functionality for a specific user. And the ability to connect with other organizations is called Lync Federation. It also connects with Windows Live, so it doesn't have to be necessarily another Office 365 user, but it can also be a Windows Live messaging account. And this is some of the user level settings that you can select. And again, during the demo, I'll show you exactly how you can set this. So for instance, you can prevent certain users from transferring files through Lync. And you can also enable federation for certain users and not for others. Okay, so this screen, I'm going to skip this. This talks a little bit more about the federation, but I think I already covered most of the points here. Yep. So let's go ahead to the next slide. The federation settings, again, this is where we change them. So through the control panel, you will log in, you will go to domain federation, and you can either allow or block certain domains that you want to be able to communicate with through Lync. Okay, one of the items I'd like to cover now is the difference between Lync Online and Lync Server. So Lync Online is the hosted solution, and then Lync Server is where you can implement on-premise. You have most of the functionality in Lync Online. There's certain things are not available. For instance, you cannot do voice and PBX integration. If you wanted to integrate your voice or phone system with Lync, you actually need to have a Lync Server installed on-premise. But you can still link that Lync Server on-premise with the Lync Online, so you can actually leverage both solutions. In the future, we are going to see a lot more of this, a lot of more integration with PBX systems, so you'll be able to initiate a phone call from within Lync and make a phone call to any number, not just to another Lync user, and you'll be able to do that through the voice and PBX integration. Another capability that's missing in Lync Online is archiving. So if you have regulatory requirements to be able to archive your conversations with Lync, that capability is not currently available on Lync Online, so you would have to implement the Lync Online server to be able to do that. Okay, so just a few more details here. So with both plans, you have instant messaging, link-to-link video, click-to-link and calls. So that's available on Lync Server and Lync Online. The same thing with Lync Meetings, the full functionality, you have it in both systems. But again, with the voice and PBX, The only way that you can actually connect IP phones or interoperate with PBX systems is by implementing the Lync server. Okay, so this slide basically gives you some of the benefits that you will get from implementing an on-premise server, the full feature set. And in addition to what I've already mentioned, the PBX interoperability, you also have server-side application programming interfaces. So if you have developers in-house that would like to tie in a custom application to Lync, or you can do that through the API. But again, that can only be done to the on-premise server. Oh, and another functionality that's not available in Lync Online is the skill search in SharePoint. So if you're familiar with SharePoint, SharePoint has a user profile functionality where you can actually store your skills. So if you want to do a search by skills on different people in your organization, you would normally do that through SharePoint. But with Lync Server, you can integrate that search. So instead of having to go to SharePoint, you can go to Lync, and you can do a people search right from within the Lync console. Okay, so Lync to Phone is another functionality that's available on the Lync server. Lync to Phone basically is the ability to call people directly from your Lync client instead of using your phone system. So you can make and receive calls to any numbers. You can also drag and drop different people to conference them. So if I'm already on a call with, let's say, Paul, and I want to bring Wendy into the conversation, all I have to do is drag and drop her icon into our existing conversation, and that would immediately join the two calls together. So to be able to do this, it requires a separate phone service from a certified carrier. And the best way to find those carriers is if you go to www.pinpoint.com. That's basically a directory of Microsoft partners and solutions. And if you do a search for Lync voice providers, or even Lync Online voice providers, there's actually two providers right now that can provide you some voice capabilities. But if you do a search on pinpoint.com, you can find some third-party products that are provided by some Microsoft partners that will give you the voice integration with Lync. Okay, and like I mentioned before, Lync Online, it's coming to mobile soon, and it will be available for the iPhone, the Android, Windows Phone 7, and also Nokia phones. And these are not the actual interfaces. These are mock-up screens, but it will look something similar to this. And what it would do is it will give you the ability to be able to connect with your colleagues through your mobile devices. Okay, another major announcement that Microsoft made recently is the availability of Lync for Macs. So Mac users can now access Lync Online. This is what the interface looks like. If you already have Office for Mac 2011, you can download it. If you're an Office 365 user, you can also download. You already have a license to use Lync for Mac. And here's a link below where you can get more information on it. But basically, and eventually in the administrator portal, there will be a link to where you can download the Lync for Mac client. But if you're a Mac user and you'd like to learn more, visit the link on this slide, and you'll get more details on that. Okay, what I'd like to do now is talk about the integration options between Exchange and SharePoint. So with Lync Online, you have the ability to initially to create a conversation, an instant conversation with any of your contacts through your Outlook web, either through Outlook or through Outlook Web Access. And during the demo, I'm going to show you how that's possible. And also with Lync server, you have Exchange voicemail integration. That's the ability to be able to get your voice messages transcribed and sent to your inbox. Okay, and then with SharePoint Online, you have presence integration. What that means is you could be on a SharePoint site, and if you're uploading a document or if you're reading a document that was created by another person, next to that document you'll see a presence indicator with that person's name, and you'll have a little button that you can actually connect to that person and initiate a conversation. And I already mentioned the skill search capability, so that's something you can do with the Lync client if you have it on-premise, but you can't do that online. So this table just pretty much gives you a side-by-side comparison of the integration options between the on-premise version and the online version. Okay, so how do you deploy Lync Online? So the easiest way to deploy is when you log into your console, you have an option where you can download the client, and the first thing that you need to figure out is whether you have a 32-bit or 64-bit system. There's a different client for each one. And then after you deploy it, you need to configure your desktop app, your Office desktop app. And what that does is actually makes the connection between Office 365 and your Lync client. So what I'd like to do now, I can actually show you a quick demo of this. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my desktop sharing. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the administrative portal for SharePoint Online for Office 365. So in the administrative portal, this is where we'll manage Outlook, we'll manage Lync, we'll manage SharePoint, and we'll also manage our team sites. So when you first connect, when you first connect to Office 365 portal, it takes you to the home page. So if this is the first time you're connected and you want to deploy Lync Online, you would just click on the link here to install Lync. And this is where you can select the type of version that you have. Now you also have to you can also select the language. Depending on what country, you can select the language. So you would install it would download a client, you would install it, and then after that's completed, you would actually run the setup. So if you install this first and try to connect to Lync, it's not going to work, so you have to make sure you follow in this sequence as well. Now, what you're looking at right now is the administrative console for the small business and professional version of Office 365. If you're subscribing to an enterprise license, you're actually going to see a third option, and that third option is where you can download Office Professional Plus. So this is the P1 administrative portal, and this is where you will install the client. So if we go back to the home page of the portal, okay, now what we can do is we can go into the admin section. So only administrators will have this link up here, and this is where you can administer the settings for Lync. So if you see here where it says Manage Lync, if we go to General Settings, so external communications, this is the federation option. So right now I have it enabled, so I'm able to link with users from other organizations. So if I bring my Lync client up on the screen right now, you'll notice I have people that are part of my organization from the WEBFORCE1 team, but I also have customers. And basically these customers are part of another organization. None of them are online right now, but you can see how I can share with them, and I can actually have Lync conversations with them. Okay, another thing you can do in this screen is you can actually manage each individual user. So let's say, for example, I wanted to go to Carlos's settings, and what I can do in here is I can decide whether I want him to be able to transfer files to another user. Let's say I only want him to do audio and video conferencing, or maybe I just want him to connect to external users, so you can select whatever option you want available for that user. Okay, so if I go back to the home site, okay, so this. Okay, and you also notice that in your portal you have a list of resources available. So if you have any specific questions about Lync, you can even ask the community. You can check out the Lync team blog as well. So this is the administrative portal. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this for now. And what I'd like to do is show you the client right now. So the Lync client, you notice here you can group your contacts. You can configure them by groups. You can see the presence indicator. So Sylvia is busy right now because she's in a meeting. So what I like to do now is I like to show you the different capabilities. So if let's say I want to do a conversation, and I initiate a quick IM message with Sylvia. And let's say I want to share share a PowerPoint with her. Okay, so now what I can do is I can, from my client, I can go to the Share tab, and I can share my entire monitor. Or in this particular, I can do a program. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and share the presentation I have open. And you see this little yellow bar that pops up on the Lync client. So right now I'm sharing my screen with her. I can do a preview so I can see what she's looking at. Or if I already have it on my screen, I don't want to share it, all I do is I hide the stage. Okay, I can also initiate a voice conversation. So let me see if I can give her a quick call. So you notice here they have IM and you can do calls. So I can do either a Lync call. So if I go ahead and hit this right now. Hi Sylvia, can you hear me?
Hi Jamie.
How you doing?
Well, how are you?
I'm doing great. Are you enjoying the webcast?
Yes, it's a great webcast.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that's the only question I had. Thank you for your help. All right, so that's how you can quickly do a quick phone call through Lync. If she had video enabled, I could also do video settings in here. So I'm going to go ahead and hang up right now. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is show you some of the Outlook integration with Lync Online. So let me go ahead and push this to the side right now. So let's switch over to Outlook. So I noticed I got an email here from Sylvia, and she's asking, can we set up a Windows Intune demo for a prospect? So what I can do right now is I can reply to this email and set up a meeting. So normally you would just, if you wanted to set up a meeting from Outlook, you would just click on this icon here, reply with meeting, and you would just set up the location, put in all the meeting information. So in this case, this is going to be an online meeting. If you notice on the top of the screen, I have an online meeting link icon. So by simply clicking here, what it does is it integrates my Lync meeting. So let's meet online. And all she has to do is click on this link right here, and we'll be connected on the same Lync Online meeting. So that's how you would do the integration with Lync and Outlook. Okay, so let me go ahead and close this, and I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my presentation. So now I'd like to go over some of the different deployment options that you have with Lync. So with Lync Online, it can be deployed purely on the cloud, or you can also integrate it as well in a hybrid environment. So basically, if you wanted to take advantage of, for instance, the PBX capabilities, or maybe you need their archiving capabilities that you can only get through the Lync server, you can have a hybrid scenario with where you have a Lync server set up in your own premises, and you can also have take advantage of some users can take advantage of the capabilities of Lync Online. Or you can just do, again, you can do a combination of both. So Lync server can also integrate with SharePoint. It can integrate with My Sites and Team Sites, so you have the presence indicator on your SharePoint site. And you can also integrate it with email and voicemail. Just like I just did that meeting request, you can also integrate Lync server with Exchange Online as well. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is just talk about the different pricing options for the different plans. So Office 365, the most basic plan is the small business and professional plans, and that's called the P1 plan. That's $6 per user per month, and that does include all the functionality. It includes everything except for Office Professional Plus. So you do have access to Office Web Apps, which is the ability to be able to open and edit documents on the browser, but it's only for Outlook, PowerPoint, OneNote, and Excel. So if you wanted the full capability of Office Professional Plus, you would actually need to upgrade to the Enterprise plan. But this does include Lync. So all the plans, all the Office 365 plans include Lync Online. This is the same interface that we just saw a minute ago, the control panel. Okay, and what you're looking at now is actually the enterprise plans. And on the enterprise plans, you notice we have two families. We have the kiosk family or K plans, and we also have the enterprise plans, the E plans. And the E plan starts at $10 per month per user. Again, all the plans include IM and presence, so Lync is included with all of them. The difference between the E1 and the other plans is if you want to add additional capabilities. And some of those capabilities come in the form of additional SharePoint features, or maybe you want voicemail and archiving capabilities. If you want the Office Professional Plus, you would need the E3 plan, which is $24 per user per month. And if you wanted to integrate your PBX system and have voice through Lync, you would go with the E4 plan. The kiosk plans are traditionally designed for people that are always on the road, people that don't have workstations per se, but maybe move around from one station to another. A good example would be nurses. Nurses that work at a hospital, they're never at the same location. They might go from one nurse station to another, so they share computers. But they may want to have the ability to access their emails or their documents through Office web apps, or maybe even have access to the company intranet through SharePoint. In that case, you can sign them up for a K plan, and the K plans are $4 per user per month, or $10 per month if you want the Office web apps. Okay, so this next slide does a comparison between different Lync Online plans. The Lync Online plan 1, which is $2 per user per month, and again, let me clarify something. So the previous plans I mentioned automatically include these plans. The P1 plan has the Lync Online plan, and other enterprise plans have the Lync Online plan too. Now, you can also purchase it as a standalone product. So if for whatever reason you don't need SharePoint or Exchange, Office Professional Plus, all you want is the capability to be able to do instant messaging, sharing desktops. If that's all you need, you can buy this as a standalone product. You do, of course, get a better value when you bundle them together, but if all you need is Lync, you can purchase it separately at either $2 per user per month for the Plan 1 or $6.50 per user per month. And this is the capability. So one of the majors on the enterprise, so if you plan to have up to 250 attendees, you definitely want to go with the Lync Online plan, number 2. Okay, so hopefully what I've been able to demonstrate here is how Lync Online it's turning communications 90 degrees. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is that in the past, everything's been, all communication systems have been vertical. So you have your own separate telephone system, your own separate email and instant messaging system. You might have your own separate video conferences. So you have all these parallel systems that are run separately from each other with different interfaces. So you can take all that functionality now and have it in a single platform and have a unified experience. So that's what I mean by Lync is going to turn communications 90 degrees. So instead of being vertical, it'll be horizontally, and you'll have everything managed from a single console, from a common management system. So you have email, instant messaging. You can even have PBX capabilities and conferencing all in a single product, and that's what you can get now with Office 365. So the benefits of moving to the cloud, as we've seen already, is that it allows you to cut in your operational and technology costs. As I mentioned, you can merge different systems into a single system now, so you can consolidate vendors into a single platform. And the second major benefit is that you can get up and running quickly. No longer you have to wait months, sometimes years, to deploy a system. It could be provisioned in a matter of weeks now. And then the ability to give people the tools that they're familiar with and that will allow them to become more productive. For instance, small businesses were not able to access SharePoint tools before because of their cost, but now they have the ability to access it almost immediately and become more productive. So how do you get started with Office 365? If you want to try out Lync Online, or if you want to try the entire suite of products, the Exchange, SharePoint, Office web apps, the easiest way is you can go to our website to www.webforce1.net, and there's a link on the top where you can click to try Office 365. What that does is going to redirect you to a page where you can sign up for a trial. With any of the plans, with the professional plans or the enterprise plans, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial, and that way you can experience it yourself before you deciding whether you want to invest further into the system. If you have additional questions about the system, you can contact us directly, and we can assist you with whatever questions you have on Office 365. So I have a couple more slides before I open it up for questions. First, I wanted to give you access to some resources online. So the best place, and you can also go to office365.com. That's Microsoft's website and the most complete resource for Office 365 information. There's also a link I'm providing that gives you more details on Lync Online. And any Mac users out there that would like to learn more about Lync for Mac, here's the link again. And these slides will be available. The recording will be available within 48 hours. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, I usually upload this to SlideShare, and then I'll send a tweet with the location to this where you can actually view and download the slides if you're interested. And again, if you want to sign up for an Office 365 30-day free trial, you can do that through WebForce1.net. So that's all I got for now. So what I'd like to do now is we have about 20 minutes left. So what I'd like to do is open it up for Q&A. So if you have any specific questions, and if there's anything that I didn't cover today that you'd like to learn more about, you can also reach me directly at my email, jaime.velez@webforce1.net. And there's my Twitter handle. So if you're in the Twitter universe, you can actually follow me on @WebForceJaime. And again, I'll be posting the slide within the hour or so after this webcast is over. So I'm going to turn it back to you, Jasmina. I don't know if there's any questions in the queue that I could answer. So I'll turn it back to you now.
All right. Thank you so much, Jaime. That was a fantastic presentation. We actually do have quite a few questions that did come in, and let's see here. Did you want me just to read them to you, or did you want to take a look in that Q&A tab?
Sure, you can go ahead and read them to me.
Okay. All right. We'll just take them in the order they came in. Bill would like to know, can Lync and Office 365 be used to do a webcast like the one today to external users that are not part of your company and use SharePoint to store the PowerPoint and sample code? Are there licensing issues for external users?
Absolutely. You can definitely do it. So with Lync Online, I mentioned earlier that you can have up to 250 attendees. Those attendees can be external users. They don't have to be Office 365 users. So they'll be able to see it. They'll be able to see the presentation. The only thing that the external users will not have access to is audio. But there are third-party vendors out there. So again, if you go to pinpoint.com and you look for Lync Online voice providers, there are other partners that can provide the audio piece of it. If you already have your own conferencing solution, you can actually integrate that with the Lync Online meeting. You can actually there's a section when you set up the Lync Online meeting where you can put in your own 800 number and conference ID if you already have your own conferencing solution. As far as SharePoint, there is external access to SharePoint as well. Depending on the plan, so you can get up to 50 on the Microsoft just made an announcement recently that they actually will allow up to 1,000 users for external access up to a certain time. I believe up into the year 2013, they might change the pricing after that. But right now, you can have up to 1,000 external users access SharePoint, and you can manage that through your own security model.
All right. Thank you very much. Another question. I have 5 Windows Phone 7 devices. Is there a Lync client for WP7, and does it provide all the features of Lync on the desktop?
So there will be a feature available, and you need to have the latest update for Windows Phone 7. It's called Mango, Windows 7.5. There will be a Lync client. I'm not sure the client's available yet, but the plan is to have it available soon. It would not be the full functionality for none of the smartphones. It will be a slimmed down version. For instance, you won't be able to share your desktop, your phone. You won't be able to share your phone screen. But it will be a lightweight version, but you'll be able to do instant messaging. And I don't have the details yet, but you might be able to do voice as well once that's available. But don't quote me on that. I need to verify that. But you will have the basic capabilities like instant messaging and presence indication.
Okay, thank you. We do have another one. Let's see. Microsoft is acting as a telecommunication carrier and offering VoIP phone service through Office 365. Does the E4 Office 365 license include a VoIP device and unlimited calling for just $2 per month more than the E3 license?
No, it does not. So the E4 plan, it allows you to integrate Lync with your PBX systems. That plan, there's still some details that need to be worked out there, but it doesn't give you unlimited phone. That you still need to have your own voice provider that would integrate with Lync Server 2010 on premise.
Okay, Fred is asking, how much bandwidth do I need for 4 simultaneous conversations on the server version, and is DSL or cable suitable?
So there is a magic number for that. I don't have the exact information for that. If that person wants to email me directly, I can get it for him or her. So that at our office, we have up to 4 computers running, and we have a 1 megabit per second connection, and we haven't had any issues. But there is, I know that there is a specific technical answer for that. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I'll be more than glad to follow up on that question.
Okay, Rusty would like to know, how can you chat with someone that isn't in your domain?
So the first thing you would have to do is you would need to enable federation. And then that person, if that person is another Office 365 user, they would have to enable federation as well. And that's how you can communicate with somebody else to another Office 365 account. But you can also enable federation and communicate with other users through live meeting. So live meeting has traditionally been used for residential or for personal individual accounts, but that would also federate with Office 365.
Thank you. And let's see here. Another question. Does the Lync in Office 365 provide the connectivity to do a link to mobile phone and link to landline calls, and is the long distance covered in the Office 365 subscription?
So Lync to mobile, it will eventually be available once the Lync for mobile client is available, and they're using an Office 365 account. Lync to LAN is not available by default. It could be enabled via a third party. We at WebForce1, we actually partner with a company called Intercall. Intercall provides the PBX, the external phone line capability. So from within Lync, we can call any number, any landline number. So it's not a feature that's automatically available out of the with the standard Lync Online, but you can integrate with another third party. And again, the best place, I'm not trying to just suggest one particular vendor, but if you go to www.pinpoint.com, and you can search for Lync Online voice providers, and about 2 or 3 different partners will pop up, and you can make your own determination. But in the future, there will be more partners available that can offer the voice capability with Lync Online.
Okay, and let's see here. Mark is asking, or more of a comment perhaps. He says, Jamie, by the way, I signed up today, and it wasn't E1, it was E3. Works for me. Do you think Microsoft realized that the trial period is more productive when you have more features available?
I'm trying to understand the question. Do you think more productive? Well, if he's referring to the features that are available with the E3 plan, I think what Microsoft was trying to do is give you all the capabilities that's available. So, for instance, the E3 plan gives you the ability to do more things with SharePoint. So you can actually publish Excel spreadsheets. You can publish Access databases. You can publish InfoPath forms, which is a web-based form utility. So with the trial, you get the full functionality. And I think what Mark might be referring to with the E1, you don't get to experience the whole experience, everything that SharePoint Online or Office 365 has available. I hope I answered the question. I couldn't quite decipher, but I hope I answered your question, Mark.
Thanks, Jamie. Okay, 2 more questions. Joe says, E4 allows you to run Lync on-premise. Need it for VoIP. Let's see. You would work with a third-party SIP provider, buy access to a SIP trunking service. $2 a month gets you access to run the software. Not cost of VoIP calls, but will it be cheaper from the third-party SIP? I'm not sure if I'm reading that correctly, but there we go.
Yeah, I really don't know the answer to that. I think it all depends on the SIP provider. I think that's more of a cost analysis, really. If you want to, I'll copy and paste that question. If I'll be more than happy to follow up with Joe to get the more accurate answer, but I'm really not sure what the correct answer for that is.
Great. Okay, and our final question from Bill. Microsoft seems to be ignoring their existing BPOS users and not doing very many transitions to Office 365. Is there a way to speed up the transition process?
So that's a great question, and I was actually on a webcast recently with Microsoft about this. So Microsoft is trying to step up their efforts to assist BPOS customers. So for those on the call that don't know, BPOS is the predecessor to Office 365. Before Office 365, BPOS offered the Exchange Online, it offered SharePoint Online, and instead of Lync, it offered OCS, Office Communication Server. And that was all based on the 2007 platform. What that question is referring to is the ability to migrate that content from Exchange 2007 to Exchange 2010 and SharePoint 2007 to SharePoint 2010. There is no real clear migration path. Microsoft is providing assistance in the form of they're actually providing resources to partners like us to help with the migration. We are actually working with a client right now that's migrating from BPOS Exchange 2007 to Exchange 2010. What I know is that there's going to be a window of 12 months starting this past September up to by September of 2012. Microsoft plans to migrate all their users to their new platform. But the challenge is that there's no real clear migration path, so we actually have to do a lot of planning with the client. We actually have to prepare their environments first. So there are some resources available. If that person wants to follow up with me, I could point them to the right people within Microsoft that can help them even further. But the idea is that by 2012, September 2012, all BPOS users will be migrated to Office 365.